Whenever I have the opportunity to speak with my guest today, I say yes and win. I support him because he supports me and the hybrid soul. His music is my daily soundtrack, whether it's for the soul, the spirit, or the bop. This mastermind delivers. He is a vibe. He's a warrior who continues to exemplify what hard work, determination, and never stop means. Welcome to the show, PJ Morton. How you doing today?
Wow, look at that. I'm
Oh,
doing good. That was special right there. I can't wait. The soul, spirit, and the bop. I
and the
like that.
bop.
That might be my new catchphrase. Soul, spirit, and
Yes.
bop. I like all those things. Yeah.
You know, I love coming back, and this is the update because we continue to talk to you. If you had to
Mhm.
complete this sentence, what would it be? Life is
Peaceful.
peaceful.
Yeah, life is peaceful. I have always and will continue. I think it's just a part of me. Work really hard. Like
Hmm.
I just go really hard, especially when I love something. So the music and I just go really hard. And so I took a non-traditional route to things, right? But and
Right.
wasn't sure what the end in sight. Not saying I'm at the end at all, because that's hardly what it is. But I'm at a space where I can see like, oh, some of the seeds I planted so many years ago are finally, coming to fruition. And it took some time, so it's allowed me to like be present and like see everything but also be like, wow, I was just saying, I just got back from Australia. We did a tour in Asia, Australia, New Zealand. And I used to pray, like, man, I want to be an international artist like Stevie or like Bob Marley. Like, I don't want to just do America. I want to, and I've been going so much that I didn't realize, wow, I'm literally in my dream. People are singing my songs word for word all over the whole world. So I just brings me a certain peace and like, man, I don't need anything, it's like, so yeah, life is peaceful.
That's amazing. Touring is something I want to talk about, but you just spoke about it first. So let's talk about the touring. You
Okay.
are experiencing life globally, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about Africa, but I want to talk about you going to Asia and Australia. What's been the goosebump experience being in Asia and people singing your music? As far as is a certain song,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, of course, How Deep Is Your Love is the biggest all around the world. Say So is that way too first began. That's the thing. It's a few, Um, and I think the goosebumps is really I can't even have a conversation with you. We're just in Beijing, China, they want to communicate so much, but then we get in the show and they're singing every word, because it connected to them somehow. It
right?
got to them and they understand it on some level. And that just blows my mind, just from where I'm from and the way I've decided to do it also, not just
Right.
independently, but like staying true to soul music and like, how I identify with R&B music and the way I've decided to do it. The fact that being myself got me there is also like goosebumps. Like, and with my friends, my drum Ed and we started a band when I was 12,
Yeah.
and he was 14. We still doing it, and we get to see, wow, you weren't crazy, like your crazy ideas, like that actually, so it's a lot to take in, man. I'm just super grateful,
That is amazing. Your frequent flyer miles, like you're a super medallion on every airline,
I'm
clearly.
diamond. Yeah, I'm super diamond.
Yes. Talking about global life and your experiences, you went to Africa for 30
Mhm,
days. Wow.
mhm.
First of all,
Yeah,
wow, for 30 days. And I know you experienced something amazing because you said this was the best trip ever. Let's
yeah,
talk about Africa because you went to South Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Egypt.
yeah. Four
Um,
countries. Yeah.
the best trip ever.
Yeah, so many levels, so many levels. I mean, I went to Africa to make an album, I said, I think at this point, always looking for inspiration, just like searching for inspiration. And I said, I know there's something in Africa for me. I haven't been where my ancestors came from. And I was supposed to go March 2020 to play Cape Town Jazz Fest, and the pandemic happened, and I was
Yeah.
going to be celebrating my birthday there. So I've been trying to get back since then, get there since then. But something that was supposed to be a music trip turned into like just me really connecting to myself in a deeper way. Really, really drawing a lot of lines, a lot of connections of like how we got here, why we're here. I mean, me being from New Orleans, like being in Nigeria and seeing the colorful homes and seeing jollof rice and it feeling like jambalaya, or hearing their brass bands play and it feel like a second line, and I'm like, oh man, this is not, like these are my people, like we're connected. And it just really, I got a song on the album called Smoke and Mirrors, but like all the lies are really like the narratives that we were, it depends on who's telling the story,
Right.
like and and I told my team I wanted to experience the food, I want to experience the nightlife, I want to experience every sector of the culture, in a real way. And so we were doing that every day. I had a studio booked every day, but just doing all of that stuff and then writing songs, it became a very, like spiritual experience, and just a trip of trust. Really, I had to like just trust my instinct. I only had 30 days. I promised these people that I was going to do this, so here we are. So it required me trusting my instinct.
When I'm on, this wasn't a vacation, but I know you had pockets of time that you were on your
Oh
own.
yeah.
I'm a good
Hmm.
5 day and I'm ready to go home. How was it being away for 30 days? And I know you're normally on
Yeah.
tour, but
Yeah,
how
we
was
do
that?
tours. Yeah, but I really underestimated this trip too,
Hmm.
because I'm thinking, all right, maybe we go from New York to Chicago, when I go from, South Africa to Nigeria. No, 11 hours, like, and then Ghana, Nigeria was quick, but then 10 more to Egypt,
Yeah.
and then, so it's like, I didn't really realize how huge Africa is too. That's part of was the education for me too. Like
Yeah.
thinking like Africa's just one that you could just pop you over. Um, but yeah, so 30 days, it was crazy. But
Yeah.
the thing is, we had a goal. So I think when you're locked in that way, it was different from tour even, because it's like, I got to finish this project.
Yeah.
So every moment I'm like, okay, what can I do? Can I write a lyric right now? Can I write a melody right now? Because I was worried initially about not being able to finish, or something not flowing, but it was really letting go that allowed that to happen, and really just kind of like allow it to write itself. Um, it was a lot of lessons in there.
So 30 days to make a new project. And one of the songs, I'm correct, is Please Be Good.
That's right.
Off
Yeah.
that'll be on the project.
Yeah.
Breakdown, I love the bop.
Thank you.
It's
Thank
one
you.
we're playing it
It's
strong
in the
on the
bop
show.
category.
Yes, it's in the bop
Yeah.
category. How
Yeah.
was making this project? How did it uh expand your musical genius? Putting this
Yeah.
project, being there and working with the artist.
Well, I took some chances, I'm not a huge collaborator. I am with artists and features. That's usually me painting, right? Like I want JoJo's voice here. I want Stevie's voice here. But I don't collaborate with producers a lot. I usually produce everything you've heard, is usually me. But in this instance, I wanted to collaborate. I wanted to borrow sound. So I had to stretch a little bit and be open to that. And so that was an experiment. And that P Prime, this producer, he does stuff for WizKid and Burna Boy and
Yeah.
everyone. Young guy, man, amazing producer, amazing musician. Started playing me stuff, and we got to that Please Be Good track, and I was like, wow, that one right there. And I started going in my phone, because this is how quick it had to go. I didn't have
Yeah.
time, to even think about what I'm writing really. It was like just writing. Because when I listen to Please Be Good now, I can hear what I was saying, but I didn't really know that in the moment, you know.
Yeah.
But that was different in my process. Having people around, I'm usually just a studio rat by myself, maybe one engineer. I don't show people my process a lot, so that was vulnerable for me, and but I had to stretch and just be comfortable.
Yeah.
And so I think those are two big ones, you know, for me, for someone who has created as much music as I have, the way I create, which is usually alone first, you know.
Hmm.
That was a big stretch.
Who are some artists that you, if you could remember, that you worked with out in Africa that we need to be on the lookout for?
Yeah, well, Fireboy DML is huge. He's on the
Hmm.
album. Um, from Nigeria, Asha, she's on this song. And she's so amazing. I can't wait for people to hear that song. This trumpeter who's also an amazing artist and composer, and Dambo Zulu, he's from South Africa. He's also on the project, and some of my favorite producers out right now, the Cavemen. They actually just did a small tour in the U.S.
Hmm.
A short tour, I should say, not small. But the Cavemen, amazing artists as well. So that's some. I don't want to give it all away, but
Of
yeah, that's
course.
some of them.
I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to it. I'm just so
yeah,
excited.
every time I say somebody though, I think of a place, you know,
Yeah.
because it's directly tied to a song or you know, it's just like it's different from anything I've ever like done before.
I'm so glad that you were able to chronicle your experience in Africa, that we can see it.
Mhm.
Talking about this new project coming up with the Please Be Good and all these other people, what is what is different from Watch the Sun? Congratulations on your fifth Grammy from the Watch the
Thank
Sun
you.
project. But this new
Mhm.
project, how did we have a new chapter with this new project from Watch the Sun?
Yeah, well, you know, I talked about it some. I don't know how much I talked about it, but for me, from Gumbo to Watch the Sun, it was kind of bookends for me.
Hmm.
I was planning on just kind of chilling for a minute. I felt like that was like the beginning and the end of something. I made records before Gumbo. I made records after Watch the Sun, but they felt like a family of beginning and end. And that's why I went for every, you know, Stevie and Nas and El DeBarge, but Jill Scott. I really thought I was just like closing something, you know. And the Africa idea came to me, and that became more of a project. It was like something to look forward to, as opposed to how I made records before. I'm making records because it's time for a new album and da da da. This was like an experiment to look forward to. So I think this is a departure sonically. I think it's a departure from how I created it.
Hmm.
I think the rhythm, you know, some of the rhythms that I tried on this, some of the things I did on this is different. But one thing I was very adamant about was to make a PJ record, though. You know what I'm saying? It's like I didn't go to Africa to make an Afro beats record, or I'm a piano record or Africa record. I wanted to make a PJ record experiencing Africa as I'm experiencing it. And so I had to force away some of that pressure where they like, you should be doing this. You're in
Yeah.
South Africa. You should. No, I want to do what I feel while I'm here and through collaborations and other things. So it's very much a me, you know, I believe, but I think also um because I only had 30 days, it's not enough time to start putting things neatly together and say, oh, that doesn't work. Oh, that's too pop, or that's what I realized. All of that stuff is me. Maroon
Yeah.
5 is some pop in me, it's some gospel in me, it's some R&B in me, it's some soul in me. So I think you get a little piece of all of that stuff on this record. And that's also like a departure from Watch the Sun.
I love it. Have you named the project yet?
I have, yeah, Cape Town to Cairo, which is
Okay.
where we went. We went from the southernmost spot in Cape Town in South Africa and went to Cairo, Egypt, up at the top of Africa.
We're looking forward to it. Um,
Mhm.
I want to make sure I get this in. I said congratulations on your fifth Grammy with
Mhm.
Good Morning and
Good morning.
Susan
Yeah.
Carroll. How amazing is it to bring another artist in and give him this opportunity to give to
It's
have a
the best.
Grammy.
It's the best.
She's
You know,
amazing as well.
yeah. Oh, Susan is beyond. I mean, she's got some amazing music in the tuck
Hmm.
too. Like I've heard some of her new stuff that she's working on, and she's gonna be around, man. But that is my favorite thing. I think, I won more Grammys than I ever thought, and like, but this last one I kept saying, man, I would love to win it for Sue. I would love for Sue to get that.
Yeah.
And for me, when I first was starting Morton Records, I was in the mindset of this is what you're supposed to do when you're an artist and you've been successful, and then you got some business acumen. So yeah, you're supposed to sign artists and put them out. And I've evolved over the years into wanting to just help with not necessarily having to be in business. It's
Hmm.
just like, if people who I believe in, can I give them a look the way I needed a look when I needed somebody to believe in me, as opposed to we got to be in business. And so this was in an effort for that. I'm a fan. I think people should know about you. Man, I would love. And she was convinced from the very beginning that we were going to win a Grammy. I'm like, man, I lost too many times to be confident like that.
Right. Right.
I've been nominated 20 times. I won five
Yes.
times, but that means you lost 15 times.
Yes.
So but yeah, nah. But she also thought that she was gonna make a great speech when she got up there. And I told her winning is a little different, so and all she could do was cry and say thank you, God. So I laughed at her. I told
Yes.
her. Yeah.
And you were in South Africa at the time when you won, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
I could talk to you about music all day with you. I know I only
Yeah.
have a few moments, but I must get to some of your outside projects that are your
Mhm.
projects. You're working with Disney and Disney World.
Yeah.
That's a big project, Disney, with the
Yeah.
Tiana.
Huge. Yeah. Yeah.
How did that project happen?
Yeah, I got a call that there was this secret project happening with Disney, and it was New Orleans theme, a Bayou theme, and they needed a new theme song. And then I eventually got more information that it was for Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And it took us about a year and a half. I wrote like 4 different songs, and we eventually got down to the one song. And then they came to New Orleans, and we put the music together for the ride and stuff. That's beyond my wildest dreams. I
Yeah.
always thought that I would work with Disney because I used to write these ballads when I was young, like the Beauty and the Beast type of ballads. I wanted to be Diane Warren when I was a kid. Like I wanted to write, and then honestly, the reality of this industry, like you young black boy, you're not about to be writing these ballads. And but I always felt like I would write for a Disney movie. Never did I think, oh, I could write for a ride that's gonna be at Disneyland and Disney World.
Amazing.
Um, no, so like, and it's also the first black character that's gonna be have an attraction at Disney World in history. I'm the first black composer to have a song on at a Disney attraction. So I mean, it's really big history.
That's
Splash
big.
Mountain was there for 35 years, and so at least my grandkids gonna be able to ride this and
You're
say,
the splash. You're the splash, PJ.
yeah.
And I want to
Right.
jump on. I also want to
Yeah.
speak to you about you have a song on the Netflix Shirley movie with
Hmm.
Samara Joy. Let
Yeah.
me tell you, you as a lyricist, I get goosebumps when I talk about it. That
Thank
song,
you.
Why I'm Here.
Mhm.
I know why I'm here. I won't shed a tear. The future, all that. Writing that song, because you have some amazing songs that I always connect to, but this song, Why
Mhm.
I'm Here, how were you inspired to write that song?
Yeah, I mean, Samara and her team came to me because we were gonna work on her probably on some new music, and
Mm-hmm.
this opportunity came. Um, Um, I know they were a big fan. Regina King was a big fan of Samara. And so they came to her, and then Samara and them came to me because she hasn't written a lot. So they came to me, and I'm a big fan of Samara Joy, like big
Yeah.
fan. And so I just took the opportunity, and I just told you I wanted to be Diane Warren I wanted to write those unbreak my hearts. And like that was my bag when I was like 14, 15.
Yeah.
That's what my heart was. And so this gave me that opportunity to be like do a movie song, like do a big song that really had a big message. And those are the most challenging because it's hard. You could easily be corny trying to do a message, and it can sound like too like disingenuous because it's like, okay, like, so it's very, that's a very thin line you have to walk. But I wrote it with Samara. The future is in your hands. That's her on the bridge. I love
Mm,
that part. But bending but never broken. I remember that's the first thing I came up with after I watched the first. They gave me something to watch, the movie to watch, and I said, man, she just was gonna keep bending, like just keep stretching, but nobody could break her, and that's so many of us. And so I just started to connect that to Samara and then all Black women and the struggle, and it just wrote itself in a way. That's what I'm saying, like at peace, because like that's what I started off wanting to do. I wanted to
yeah.
write some big songs like that. So now that the opportunities are here, I just chuckle because it's like, man, I didn't have to fight. I just had to keep being myself, and those things, all those things that I wanted, start to attract themselves to me.
Amazing. Another one of my theme music. I'm telling you, you are my daily soundtrack. And we go from the music to, we are looking forward to Saturday night, Sunday morning, the book, the
Mhm.
journey.
Yeah,
Um, I'm sure the process of putting that together, easy.
yeah.
Did it challenge you? It's available November of
November
2024.
12th. Yeah,
Yes.
November 12th. Um, that wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. I've done it with a book writer, and like some heavy sessions of like reaching back and thinking of all these things, because I pretty much just kind of chill in my business. I make my music and I just be chilling low key, like go on tour. Like I don't really talk about myself. People discover that I'm in Maroon 5 every single year. I've been in the band 14 years in July, but it's because I don't just be like I'm doing this. I'm just kind of doing my own thing. And so it was a combination of people now asking me like, how did you do it? One, the success, 7 years being nominated for Grammy, winning five, um, the Disney stuff, the Netflix stuff, this iPhone commercial, like just all the combination and emotions. My first album turns 20 in October. The first version of it turns 20 years in October. And so I
Wow.
felt like this is a good moment to stop and like share, because maybe it was me not knowing that it would work too. Like I don't recommend. It's like, y'all don't just follow me. I'm crazy. Like don't necessarily do what I did, but to see things start to work out and like, wow, you really can be yourself. And if you do stick to your guns long term, maybe it may take some time, but so like that's now inspiring me. Like, wow. Like I was telling, like, wow, this worked. Like, who knew this was gonna work? And so because that inspires me, I feel like telling the story and really giving people insight of what I did, because
Hmm.
people really don't know. I don't really say, and I just did it myself. So it's like I'm just ready to share that and hopefully help people, and they be inspired, by it.
I love it. We've talked about all this. I want to also mention you'll be in Vegas. PJ, for everyone, know that I travel for PJ Morton. On Thanksgiving, on the next day, I was like, I'm out. I'm going to New Orleans because I'm
Black
going
Friday.
to rock out with PJ Morton. I will travel
Yes.
for you. You'll be in
Thank you
Vegas
so
with
much.
Maroon
Yes.
5.
Mm-hmm.
I just you have live shows on your own.
Yeah.
Uh and I see that you're striving to be a cool dad because I love all of your kids impersonations of you.
Oh my God.
I
Yeah.
love
They
it.
playing with me. They playing with the boy. Yeah.
How is family as you're growing
Hmm.
and your family growing, is any one of the kids following behind your footsteps in music?
Yeah, I think all of them are creative in their
Mm-hmm.
own ways, you know. P3 asked for equipment. I got him some, where he could make songs and stuff. I was very much like before I figured it out, which I did figure it out really young.
Yeah.
I was a chronic everything. I karate, drum lessons. I mean, like I did it all. I did it all. Like, no, I want to
Yeah.
do this now. Basketball, baseball, like everything, right? So I'm letting them figure it out. Nobody forced me, so I'm not forcing anything. But they all have it. They all have it. My daughter Peyton is the youngest. She's in dance right now. But to me, I see she's a great artist. She can sing. I'm just letting them figure it out, but they all have it. Jakai, my oldest, is a drummer. He's at Morehouse. He's a freshman at Morehouse.
Wow.
Um, and he's drumming up there on the weekends, like I used to do at a church. I used to play on the weekends. So like, yeah, it's all in there. But the main thing I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I'm
Yes.
just watching. Yeah,
I love
I'll
it.
be there. Yeah.
I love watching you, the music and everything. And PJ, I just want to thank you just for being you and staying true to what's inside to give to us, because um, you've really helped me during my ebbs and flows of life. I go back and I literally this morning listening to your rendition of Let Go.
Mhm.
The words hit me, I know, like others, and I just want to continue just to reaffirm you that you are on the right track. I'm glad that peaceful is your word right now.
Yeah.
I'm
Thank you,
looking forward
Kelly.
to the new music, the book, seeing you in Vegas, and just going out on the
Let's go.
road, and any other thing. Oh, you know what? I see the other collaboration with Louis York. I love that
Mm-hmm.
song, Puppet
Mm-hmm. Oh
Strings.
yeah,
Is there
puppet
anything
strings. Yeah.
else that we should be looking forward to with you?
Well, yeah, this week coming there's a couple of big announcements. So
Okay.
yeah, I'm gonna be close to you soon, and we're announcing when this album is coming and everything.
Okay.
And that's the focus. I mean, I'm coming out with a new band this summer, Afro Orleans, and I'm bringing all the horns and the percussion, and yeah, it's just gonna be a good time.
Okay.
It's music. Yeah, it's music. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I look forward to always, like I said, when they say PJ is available, I'm like, yes, and when.
I'm always come talk to you for sure.
I
Nah, I
appreciate it.
appreciate you. Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank
My
you.
guest today is New Orleans' own PJ Morton. It's the Hybrid Soul
Yes,
with Kelly
indeed.
Kinkaid.